Today we will discuss about the taxonomic characters of the Palaemonid prawn, which comes under the suborder Pleosemata. Okay, so up to this we have studied. Okay, so screen is visible to everyone. Na?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this was up to the last class. Okay, a quick revision. We talked about the phylum Orthopoda, then the subphylum Mandibulata, the class Crustacea, subclass Malacocostraca, order Decapoda, and then there's two suborders, the Dendrobranchia and Pleosemata. So today we will going to discuss about the general characteristic of Palaemonid prawn. Then we will discuss about the pinnate prawn. Then we discuss and in the next class we will discuss what is the main difference between the Palaemonid and pinoid prawn. So today we will take in detail about the Palaemonid prawn. Okay, so I have taken one representative species from the Palaemonid prawn or the prawn which belongs to the suborder Pleosemata. Okay, so the species is Macrobrachium. So the prawn which belongs to the species Macrobrachium, they are also known as a freshwater prawn because their habitat is they inhabit the freshwater streams. Okay, for reproduction they need saline water, but they can thrive well in the freshwater. That's why they are known as a freshwater prawns. And there is a one species which is economically important species which is known as a Macrobrachium rosenbergi. So the Macrobrachium rosenbergi is also known as the giant freshwater prawn because this is a huge size prawn and very economically important prawn. Is the demand of this freshwater prawn, particularly the Macrobrachium rosenbergi, is very high. So today, first we will see the taxonomic position of the Palaemonid prawn Macrobrachium. I have told it belongs to the phylum Orthopod, then subphylum Mandibulata, class Crustacea, subclass Malacocostraca, order Decapoda, suborders Pleosemata. Then this suborder Pleosemata have 7 infraorder. Okay, so this Palaemonoid belongs to the infraorder Caridia. Okay, and this infraorder have several superfamilies. So it have one superfamily Palaemonoidae, and it belongs to the family Palaemonodi and the genus Macrobrachium. Okay, so we will start with the habitat. Just see, look at this image. This is the image of the freshwater prawn Macrobrachium rosenbergi, which is also known as the giant fresh because of a huge size. Okay, the giant freshwater prawn. So as I have told, because they inhabit the freshwater streams, the rivers, lakes, and ponds, they are nocturnal, means they are basically active in night for feeding and other important activities. They are omnivorous in nature, means their food comprises both the plant as well as the animal source. Okay, then they walk slowly on the bottom with the help of the walking legs, and when they have to swim on the surface of the water, then they use another appendages which is known as the pleopod or swimrets. Okay, so when they have to walk on the bottom, they use the walking leg, and when they have to swim on the surface of the water, then they use their swimrets or pleopods. Okay, so here we'll see the external morphology. So this is the typical diagram of the external morphological diagram of the Palaemonoid prawn. Here you can see that. Okay, we will take the entire external morphology basically in two parts. Okay, one is in the cephalothoracic part and another is the abdominal part. So here you can see that from here to here is the cephalothorax region, and from here to here it is the abdominal region. Okay, so we are going to study the morphology which have basically two divisions. Okay, so let's see. So as I have told, the first we have to talk about the shape and size. Okay, so the body is basically elongated and somewhat spindle shape. Okay, and bilaterally symmetrical, means if you cut the animal from the middle, it will divide it into two equal parts. Okay, now the size, okay, their size, there is a huge variation in the size of the species of Macrobrachium. They are as small as 2.5 centimeter to they are as long as 90 centimeters. Okay, now the coloration of the prawn basically change uh, as per their age. When they are very young ones or the juveniles, they are totally transparent, and when they yields to the maturity, their colors in their color change. Okay, the pigmentation or the color of the adult one is different in the different species, and some of the species also have the distinct band pattern. Okay, so that depends and that varies species to species. Now the division of body. When we were studying the journal characteristic of orthopoda, what we have studied that we studied that it is a animal which have jointed appendages and segmented body, is it? Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So the prawn, here we are talking about the Palaemonid prawn, macrobrachium. So its body is divided into 19 segments. Okay, it have two distinct region, as I have told, the cephalothoracic region and the abdominal region. Okay, but then if we if you take the body as a whole, it have 19 segments. Okay, so now this whole body is divided into two major region. One is the cephalothoracic region, another one is the abdominal region. As the name cephalothorax means head and thorax. It is a fusion of cephalic and thoracic region, means it is fused form of head and thorax. So the total body segments are 19. Out of 19, 13 segments are cephalothoracic and 6 segments are abdominal. Okay, and these 13 cephalothoracic segments are further divided. There is 5 cephalic segment or 5 segment in the head region and the 8 thoracic segment. Okay, so total 13 cephalothoracic segment, 8 sorry, and 6 abdominal segment. Okay, so here we'll see in the detail. So as I have told, the cephalothorax, this is the cephalothoracic region. Okay, so this is cylindrical and unjointed. Unjointed means they have the segment, but when you see from the external surface, you won't find any joint. That's why unjointed here means unjointed means the no external segmentation mark. Okay, so in the cephalothoracic region, although there is a 13 segments, the 5 segments of head and the 8 segment of thorax, but when you see the animal from the external surface, you won't see the segmentations or the joint. And contrary to this, when we see into the abdominal segment, here you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6, there is a 6 abdominal segment, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that segmentation you can see externally. Means if you look at the external feature or the external surface of the animal, there is a clear marking of 6 segments. Okay, so that is about the division of the body. 19 segments. The prawn body is divided into the 19 segment. These 19 segments are basically of two reasons. One reason is cephalothoracic, which have 13 segment. Another reason is the abdominal, which have the 6 segments. Now this cephalothoracic region is further divided into two. The head region and the thorax region. Head region have the 5 segment and thorax region have the 8 segment. So up to this, it is clear to everyone? Yes or no? I'm audible? Up to this, it is clear to everyone? I'm audible?
नो मैम।
I'm not audible?
मैम अभी 5 मिनट पहले कुछ नहीं आवाज आ रही थी मैम।
Okay, maybe there is a connectivity issue. So I'll again explain. Okay, this slide was visible to you people? यहाँ तक clear था?
यस मैम।
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I have told the prawn body or the macrobrachium, it has 19 segments, okay, which are of two distinct reasons. The one reason is the cephalothorax and another one is the abdominal. So here we will see in the detail. Just see, this is the cephalothoracic region and this is the abdominal region. So when I'm talking about the cephalothoracic region, here I have written it is cylindrical in shape. Here you can see that, and unjointed. Unjointed means although this cephalothoracic region have 13 segments, okay, the 5 segments in the head region and 8 segment in the thorax region, but when you see the animal from the external surface, when you look at the external surface of the animal, you won't find any segmentation mark on the cephalothoracic region. Okay, so when you look at the external part, then this cephalothoracic region appears unjointed because there is no clear marking of the segmentation. But when we comes to the abdominal region, here you can see that uh, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so there is total 6 abdominal segment, and each segment is clearly marked. Okay, so when we look at the external surface of the animal, the segmentation, the abdominal segmentation is clearly marked. Okay, so this is clear. The total segment in the body is 19. Cephalothoracic region have 13 segment, abdominal region have 6 segment. Now cephalothoracic region, 5 segments in the head and the 8 segment in the thorax. Up to here it is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Total,
Yes, ma'am.
total segment 19, 13 cephalothoracic and 6 abdominal. Okay, under the cephalo, 5 head and 8 thorax. Is it clear? Okay, so now we will see to the another feature, and that is exoskeleton. Okay, so as it is a crustacean, so the entire body and the appendages of this prawn, they are covered by the hard and chitinous cuticle, which forms the exoskeleton. And the hardening of the exoskeleton is basically done by the deposition of the calcium carbonates or the salts of lime we can get. So the deposit, when the calcium carbonate deposits on this cuticle or chitinous cuticle, it become bit harder. Okay, so when the young ones in the young prawns, their cuticle is soft, their exoskeleton is soft. As they grows, okay, their exoskeleton start hardened by the deposition of the calcium carbonates. Okay, now the hard piece of exoskeleton, or the outermost surface, okay, the hard outermost surface of the exoskeleton is known as the sclerites. And the inner softer layer, the softer inner cuticle layer, which is attached to the body of the animal, is known as the arthroidal membrane. Okay, now the exoskeleton. So if I talk about the exoskeleton, as I have told, just see, we'll discuss the exoskeleton of the cephalothoracic region in more detail. Here you can able to see the image of this prawn. Okay, this red color region is the exoskeleton of the cephalothoracic region. Okay, so this is the topmost cover, this is the exoskeleton or the covering or the cap or the exoskeleton cap on which covers the cephalothoracic region. So what happened actually, the dorsal plate here, okay, the dorsal plate and the carapace, when it fuse together, it forms the dorsal sheet. So basically the means dorsal plate covers the head, carapace covers the thorax, and when it fused together, it is known as a dorsal shield, which covers the entire cephalothoracic region. Okay, so from here to here, this entire one is the dorsal shield. The region which only covers the head is known as a dorsal plate, and the exoskeleton which covers the cephalothoracic region from both the side, laterally also, then it is known as a carapace. Okay, now the another important feature of the exoskeleton. I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now the another important feature is the rostrum. Okay, so what happened? The dorsal shield, okay, the dorsal shield is pointed towards the okay, so it is pointed at the anterior front, okay, or protruded type of. So what happened? This is laterally compressed and protruded towards the anterior most side, and it has serration. Serration means, just see, the teeth, like, okay, the serration और कुछ कांटे जैसा है या सुई जैसा है. Okay, so this is the rostrum which have the serration. So this serration, the number of serration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this serration actually is a diagnostic character. Means the serration on the rostrum, it varies species to species, and that is one of the identifying characters in the prawn. Even there is two groups of prawn I have told, a Palaemonid and uh, pinnate prawns. So in one group of prawn, the serration is on dorsal surface only in the rostrum, and there is and in one group the serration is on dorsal as well as on the ventral side also. Okay, so this is one of the diagnostic character, the serration, the number of serration on the rostrum. This anterior most pointed region of the dorsal shield is known as a rostrum. Now the brachiostegoid, what happened? You just see this carapace is basically covers the body from both the sides. It's basically, you can see that there is a cap which covering both the side. Okay, so the position of the gills in the prawn is one on this side, another on another side. Okay, so this covering, the carapace covering, is one reason which is known as the brachiostegoid. You can see that here. This brachiostegoid is basically the part of the carapace which covers the gill, or basically, or in a very simple term, we can say that these brachiostegoids are gill flaps or gill cover. So this is about the exoskeleton of the prawn. Now we will talk about the appendages. As I have told, in prawns, or if we talk about the arthropod animals, each segments of the body bears the appendages. Okay, so if I'm talking about, here I have told there is a 19 segment in the prawn. Okay, so if there is a 19 body segment in the prawn, and each segment bears one pair of appendages, so there will be the 19 pair of appendages. As I have told, in the prawn there is 13 cephalothoracic region, so there is 13 pairs of cephalothoracic appendages. There is a 6 abdominal segment, so there is a 6 pair of abdominal appendages. So when we are talking about the cephalothoracic appendages, 5 pairs of appendages are cephalic, means these appendages are attached to the segment of the head region. And then there is a 8 pair of thoracic appendages. Okay, means they are the appendages which are attached with the 8 different segments of the thorax. Okay, so here you can see that there is a 5 cephalic appendages: antenules, antenna, mandible, maxillae, and maxilla. And when we talk about the thoracic appendages, first, second, and third maxillipeds, first and second ciliate legs, then first, second, and third non-ciliate legs. So there are basically 8 pairs of thoracic appendages. Then there is 6 pair of abdominal appendages. To 1 to 5 is the appendages which is attached from first abdominal segment to the 6th abdominal segments. They are known as first to 6th pleopod, means first pleopod, second pleopod, third pleopod, fourth pleopod, fifth pleopod. Or we can say that the first swim rate, second swim rate, third swim rate, fourth swim rate, or fifth swim rate. And the 6th segment, the 6th abdominal segment, have the appendages which is known as a uropod. Okay, so it is clear. 19 segments, so 19 pair of appendages. 13 cephalothoracic segments, so 13 pairs of cephalothoracic appendages. 6 abdominal segments, so 6 pair of abdominal appendages. And these are the different appendages which are present on cephalic, thoracic, and abdominal region. We will take all these appendages one by one. Here is the diagrammatic compilation of these 19 pairs of appendages. Here you can see that first pair of appendages, cephalic, antenule, then this is antenna, then mandible, maxilla, and maxilla. Okay, then just see 1, 2, and 3. First maxilliped, second maxilliped, and third maxilliped. Then just see first ciliate leg, second ciliate leg. Ciliate leg means just here you can see on this leg, the end of the this appendage have चिला लाइक स्ट्रक्चर, चिला मीन्स चिमटे के जैसा जिससे कुछ ग्रैब किया जा सके, जैसे आपने क्रैब के
आवाज नहीं आ रही थी
मैम आवाज कट गई मैम 2 मिनट पहले ही, कुछ आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
ओके ये वाली स्लाइड क्लियर हुई?
यस मैम, इसके नेक्स्ट वाले में
ये वाली
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, सो आई विल अगेन एक्सप्लेन इट, नो इशू। ओके, थोड़ा सा कनेक्टिविटी का प्रॉब्लम रहता है यहाँ पे, so I will explain again, no issues. So this is basically the diagrammatic representation of those 19 pair of appendages that I have discussed in the previous slide. Okay, what I have told, there is 19 pair of appendages, 5 cephalic, 8 thoracic and 6 abdominal. So here you can see this is the first pair, first cephalic appendages antenule, second cephalic appendages antenna, third cephalic appendages mandible, fourth cephalic appendage maxilla, and fifth cephalic appendage maxilla. So these 5 appendages, they are present on the head. They are attached to the head segment. First appendage is on the first segment, second one is on the second segment, this is on third, fourth and fifth, so on. Okay, now the thoracic appendages. So this is the sixth one, this is the first maxillipede, this is second maxillipede, and this is the third maxillipede. So then this is first ciliate lag, this is second ciliate lag, and this is first non-ciliate lag, second non-ciliate lag, and this is third non-ciliate lag. So when I'm talking about the ciliate lag means the term comes from this, here you can see at the terminal, this have the chela like of structure. Chela means कुछ चिमटे जैसा, जैसे आपने क्रैब में देखा होगा ना, उसका जो एंड है उसमें बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग चला होता है, चिमटे जैसा होता है। तो जो दो अपेंडेजेस हैं, दो thoracic appendages हैं, okay, which is on fourth and fifth segment of thorax, or you can say that the 9th or 10th segment of the body, okay, it have chilla like structure, so they are known as the first and second ciliate lag, and followed by the 3 pairs of non-ciliate lag. So these two pairs of ciliate lag and 3 pairs of non-ciliate legs, so this total, these 5 pairs are known as the walking legs. Because of the presence of these 5 pairs of walking legs, these prawns are under the order Decapoda. Decapoda means 10 legs. Okay, so here they have 5 pairs of walking legs, 2 pairs ciliate leg and 3 pairs non-ciliate legs. This is clear to everyone?
मैम चिलेट और नॉन चिलेट में डिफरेंस क्या है?
चिलेट लेग में आपके एंड में यहाँ पे चेला जैसा स्ट्रक्चर है, चिमटे जैसा स्ट्रक्चर है, ठीक है, जैसे आप या पकड़ते हैं ना चिमटे से कुछ वैसा। और जो नॉन चिलेट लेग है उसके एंड में चेले जैसा स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, इसीलिए वो नॉन चिलेट है। जिसमें चेला जैसा स्ट्रक्चर है वो चिलेट लेग है, और जिसमें नहीं है वो नॉन चिलेट है। ओके, सो सिर्फ 2 पेयर ऑफ जो लेग्स होते हैं उन्हीं में चिलेट होता है। सो दिस 2 चिलेट एंड 3 नॉन चिलेट लेग्स, दे ऑल टुगेदर फॉर्म्स 5 pairs of walking legs. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the last segment of the body, that is the abdominal segment. Yes. I'll see. Okay. So now the abdominal segment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first to 5, they are known as a pleopods or swimreds. So this is the first pleopod, second pleopod, third pleopod, fourth pleopod, and fifth pleopod. And this is the last appendages which is present on the last segment of the abdomen, is known as a uropod. Now I think it is clear to everyone.
मैम एब्डोमिनल फिर से बता दीजिए मैम, अभी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी।
Okay, abdominal, there is a 6 segment in the abdomen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 के 6 segments पे 6 appendages हैं. So from first to the 5th abdominal segments, उस पे जो appendages होती हैं, they are very similar in the structure. Here you can see that, and they all known as the pleopods or swimreds. क्यों इनको बोलते हैं swimreds? Because इन्हीं 5 pair of appendages की help से prawn जो है वो वाटर की सरफेस पे स्विम करते हैं. ओके, सो द 14 15 ये जो है आपका फर्स्ट, दिस इज नोन एज अ फर्स्ट प्लियोपोड, सेकंड प्लियोपोड, थर्ड प्लियोपोड, फोर्थ प्लियोपोड एंड फिफ्थ प्लियोपोड. और जो सबसे लास्ट एब्डोमिनल सेगमेंट होता है उस पे एक ब्रॉडर, एक ब्रॉड शेप की, फैन शेप की एक अपेंडेजेस लगी होती है जिसको हम बोलते हैं यूरोपोड. Okay, so clear to everyone the appendages?
Yes,
यस
ma'am.
मैम.
Okay, now
Yes, ma'am.
we will take the structure of the appendages in detail one by one. Okay, so first, as I have told, each segments bear a pair of appendages, means a 9 segments, so 19 segments in the prawn, so there is a 19 pair of appendages. So what happened, जो वेट्रोलैटरल मार्जिन है each segment का, वहां से यानी कि prawn के दोनों तरफ से एक segment में, एक सेगमेंट है बॉडी का, एक सेगमेंट के दोनों साइड से एक एक अपेंडेजेस निकलती हैं. ठीक है, सो जितनी भी अपेंडेजेस होती हैं प्रॉन में, दे ऑल आर बाइरेमस. बाइरेमस मींस विच हैव टू ब्रांच. ओके, हियर यू कैन सी दैट एक ये है और एक ये है, एक ये और एक ये ब्रांच्ड है ना, ये यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, एक ये है और एक ये है. So biramus means the appendages which have two branches. Bi means two, ramus means branch. Okay, so all the appendages, whether it is cephalic or thoracic or abdominal, they all actually, the biramus appendages means the branch appendages, it have two branch. Here you can see that this is one branch, this is another branch, this is the one branch, this is the another branch. But there is a one exception. The very first pair of the cephalic, the very first pair appendages of a body, or the first cephalic appendages, which is also known as antenule, that is uniramus. Uniramus means it doesn't have a branch, a single appendages. Okay. Otherwise, if you remove the antenules, all the 18 remaining appendages of the body segments, they are biramus. Okay, so sometime in objective type of questions, the answer questions may come, which of the following appendages, which of the following appendage is uniramus, or which of the following appendage is biramus in Palaemonid prawn. Okay, so this is one of the, इस तरह के questions भी आते हैं exams में. Okay, so all the appendages are biramus except first pair, the antenules, the first cephalic appendages, the antenule, that appendage is uniramus or unbranched. Okay, now the each appendages, whether it is cephalic, thoracic or abdominal, okay, it have a basal stalk. Basal stalk means जहां से appendages निकल रही है body से. So उस basal stalk को कहते हैं हम प्रोटोपोडाइट. बेसल स्टॉक को कहते हैं प्रोटोपोडाइट, या वो जगह या वो पॉइंट जहां से आपकी जॉइंटेड अपेंडेजेस जुड़ी हुई है. So this protopodite or the basal stalk have two joints. Here you can see that the lower one is known as the coxa and the upper one is known as a basis. Here you can see that the lower one is, this is entire is known as protopodite or basal stalk. This entire isn't. So the lower joint is known as the coxa and the upper joint is known as the basis. Here you can also see that the lower joint is known as the coxa. Lower is known as a coxa and the upper is the basis. The lower one is the coxa and the upper one is the basis. Okay. Now from the protopodite, there is, as I have told, this is the biramus appendages. So from each appendage, there is two ramis or दो branches निकलेंगे. There is a one branch and then the another branch. So the outer branch is known as exopodite and the inner branch is known as the endopodite. Here you can say that the outer branch is known as the exopodite and the inner branch is known as a endopodite. So the exopodite and endopodites. So this and endopod, these two branches, the endo and the exopodites, they may have several segments or they may be made up of a single segment. So these different segments are known as podomers. Okay, so if there is a one segment, there is a one podomer. If there is a two segments, then two podomers, three podomers. So here this propodus, carpus, ischium plus maris, they are basically the name of different podomers. Okay, so it is clear. This is a basic structure of the appendages which are present in the prawn. It is clear to everyone, or any confusion? I will make it clear right now. बताइए, किसी को कोई confusion है?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so next पे हम move करते हैं. So now we will take the appendages in one by one. So first the cephalic appendages, as I have already told you, there is 5 pairs of cephalic appendages: antenules, antenna, mandible, maxillae, and maxilla. So the first two appendages, the antenule and antenna, they are known as the preoral appendages. Why it is preoral appendages? Because their situation, and they situated anterior to the mouth opening. Okay, so they are known as a preoral. And then the third, fourth, and fifth mandible, which is mandible, maxillae, and maxilla, which is situated posterior to the mouth opening, they are known as a postoral. So here you can see that this is the very first antenule. This is precoxa, coxa, basis. Then this is the antenna. This is mandible. This is maxillae, and this is maxilla. So this is basically the different type of cephalic appendages. Okay. So now in this antenule, okay, this antenule have the opening of statocyst. Statocyst is basically an organ of equilibrium. So the statocyst is present on this, and it has the opening on the antenule, and this antenule is tactile in function. Okay, then second one is the antenna. The antenna is tactile in function. It has a balancing function also, as well as it has the excretory function. Okay, because it has the excretory opening. Okay, then the mandible have, you see, this is the mandible. It have, here you can see that molar process and incisor process. Okay, so this have the molar and incisor process. So basically its function is to because if any appendages have the molar and incisor process, then what will be the function of this appendages? Anyone?
Ma'am, cutting or chewing.
Yeah. Yes. So this particular cephalic appendage or the mandible, which have the molar and incisor processes, have masticatory function. Okay, means basically chewing the food. Okay, then your fourth one, which is known as the maxilla. Okay, this is a thin, and you can see that are leaf-like appendages. Okay, this is actually used for passing the food into the mouth. Okay, then the fifth one is the maxilla. It is also a thin flap-like appendage, flap and leaf-like appendages. It has two functions, one in the feeding and another one is the respiratory function, because it's one of its structure actually cause it basically bails inside the gill chamber of the prawn. Okay, so it has feeding as well as respiratory function. So here you can see that the first one has the tactile function, second one has the tactile and equilibrium. First one, second one is tactile, equilibrium, and excretory. Third one is masticatory. Then the fourth one is passing the food to the mouth, and the fifth one is feeding as well as respiratory. So this is about the cephalic appendages. Now the thoracic appendages. So the 8 pairs. So the first 3 anterior pairs, they are known as maxilliped. So here you can say that first maxilliped, second maxilliped, and third maxilliped. Okay, so these first three thoracic appendages are also known as foot jaws, because maxilla means jaw and peds means foot. Okay, so this is basically foot jaws. So first maxilliped, second maxilliped, and third maxilliped. So the first maxilliped is tactile. It helps in holding the food, and it also serves the function of tactile and respiratory organ. Then the second maxilliped, okay, this second maxilliped also have the tactile function. It helps in holding the food, and it is respiratory also. Okay, then walking legs. Okay, now, so sorry, the third one also have the tactile function, respiratory function, as well as it holds the food. Now we will see the 5 pairs of posterior thoracic appendages, which are also known as walking legs or periopods. So here we can see that this is these two are, okay, the cillate legs, and these the first cillate leg, and this is the second cillate leg in female and the second cillate leg in male. So as I have told, the sexual dimorphism is very commonly found in crustacea. Okay, so in the prawn also there is a sexual dimorphism. If we talk about the macrobrachium species, there is a sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means the sex of same species have some distinct morphological features. So when we talk about the species of the macrobrachium, क्या होता है कि जो मेल है, the second cillate leg of male is much more longer and stronger than the second cillate leg of female. So if there is a animal of both the sex of same age, means the same age male and female of macrobrachium, then the male have the longer and stronger second cillate leg as compared to the female. Okay, so here we can say that this is the first cillate leg. Here the coxa, basis, and these are the different podomers. Then second cillate leg in the female, which have the chilla but smaller in size. And here the second cillate leg in male, which have a larger chilla and a stronger, larger cillate leg. Okay, and this is the typical. Hello, I'm audible.
मैम आवाज नहीं आ रही थी मैम।
मैम कट जाता है बीच बीच में।
पोस्टीरियर फिर से ये स्लाइड पढ़ा दी।
ये वाली फिर से एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ मैं, नो इशू। ओके, सो दिस इज बेसिकली the 5 posterior pairs of thoracic appendages, that is also known as the periopods or walking legs. So as I have told, in the sexual dimorphism is a very typical character of crustacea. Okay, sexual dimorphism means the male and a female of a same species have some distinct morphological features, means they are the individual of the same species but they have some different morphology. Okay, so as I have told, in crustacea the sexual dimorphism is very common, and prawn also, in macrobrachium there is a sexual dimorphic character, and that sexual one of the sexual dimorphic character of the macrobrachium is the presence or the size of the cillate leg. Okay, so the second cillate leg, there is a 2 cillate leg, first pair of cillate leg and the second pair of cillate leg. So the second cillate leg in the male is much more larger and stronger as compared to the second cillate leg of female. So this is the this is the second cillate leg of male, and this is the second cillate leg of female. Okay, and here you can see that this is the
मैम वापस से आवाज नहीं आ रही।
अच्छा ठीक है, मैं देखती हूँ, मैं कनेक्शन के साथ तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. I'll explain it again. Okay, so as I have told, there is 8 thoracic appendages. 3 are the anterior appendages, okay, which are first maxilliped, second maxilliped, and third maxilliped. And then there is a 5 pair of posterior appendages, thoracic appendages, which are also known as walking leg or the periopods. So as I have told, the sexual dimorphism is a very typical character of crustacea. Very common, sexual dimorphism is very common in crustacea, and this species macrobrachium also have the sexual dimorphic character, and that sexual dimorphic character is the second cillate leg. So the second cillate leg, okay, this is stronger and larger in male as compared to female. Means if you see the same age of a male and female macrobrachium, then you will find the second ciliate leg in male is much larger and stronger. Okay, so these two are, this is the second ciliate leg of female and this is the second ciliate leg of male, and this is the typical structure of the first ciliate leg, and this is the typical structure of the three non-ciliate legs. Okay, so it have two cillated legs and three non-cillated legs. Clear? Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the abdominal segment. Up to this, we have seen the cephalothoracic segments के appendages. We have seen the cephalic and thoracic. Now the abdominal appendages. As the abdomen have 6 segments, so it has 6 pair of appendages. Okay, so the first 5 pairs, they are known as pleopods or swimlets, and the last one is known as uropod. So they are a very simple a type of appendages. Here you can see by the structure, and they are typically biramous type, means branched appendages. Okay, here we will see this is the third abdominal appendages. Okay, in the third abdominal appendages, you just see there is a presence of a one structure. This is known as appendix interna. So this appendix interna is
मैम आवाज नहीं आ रही थी.
okay. So this is a last slide of today's class. I'll try to make it complete. Okay. So as I have told, there is a 6 abdominal segments. Okay. So there is a 6 pair of abdominal appendages. So the first 5 segments, it bears the 5 pairs of swimlets or pleopods. Okay. And the last segment have one appendages which is known as the uropod. So these are the simple appendages and typical biramous type. Typical biramous type means they are branched appendages. Okay, they have 2 branches. Okay, so here you can see in the third abdominal appendages there is one structure which is known as appendix interna. Okay, so this appendix interna is present in the third abdominal appendages, but it is greatly reduced in the first abdominal appendages. Okay, then here is the first abdominal appendages. Okay, so the in the first abdominal appendages, as what is the difference between the first and third? In the third, appendix interna is greatly developed. In the first, it is reduced or totally absent. Okay, then now see the second abdominal appendages. Okay, so when we see the second abdominal appendages, there is one additional means one what I say, one additional process, okay, or growth. This is known as appendix masculina. Okay, so if we see the second abdominal appendages of male, it have appendix masculina. If it is of female, it doesn't have appendix masculina.
मैम कुछ भी आवाज नहीं आ रहा. कुछ भी पहले.
मैम सेकंड अपेंडिक्स से आवाज नहीं आई है, सेकंड एब्डोमिनल अपेंडिक्स से.
Okay, I'll make it. I can't do with this connection. I'll again make it. I'll again explain it. Okay, just wait for a second. Okay, just see as I have told, there is a 6 abdominal segment, so there is a 6 pair of appendages. First 1 to 5 is a swim wrist or the pleopod, which help in the swimming, and the last one or the appendages which is on attached to the last segment is known as a uropod. Okay, they are biramous, means branched. Now we will see some of this is here we can see that a typical structure. If we talk about the third abdominal appendages, this is a typical structure of the 5 abdominal appendages. There is some variation that I'm going to discuss. Here you can see there is a one outgrowth which is known as appendix interna. देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे एक structure है appendix interna. So this appendix interna is present in all the 4 appendages except in the first abdominal appendages. Okay, clear? Now is clear? Yes or no? Hello? I'm audible? Hello, I'm audible?
मैम आवाज नहीं आई मैम।
Aja, okay, so today up to this thoracic appendages, this abdominal appendages I will take in the next class. Okay, today is a severe connectivity issue. So the abdominal appendages I will take tomorrow. I'll also take the taxonomy of shellfish class only. Okay, so in tomorrow class I will cover the abdominal appendages and some other features. Okay. Okay, so for today up to this only. If you have